Hello! We're getting started on Sector 6 today, not 5. We already did 5. Anyway. Alright. Stepping on things. So, our plan for today is to find Dan and also learn how to use all kinds of ridiculous weapons. Seems like a pretty good setup to me, so let's get right on it. And you wouldn't think so, but these wooden boxes here are actually high enough to hide me from this big bad commander guy over here. Why don't we switch over to plasma? Awesome. And now that I'm going to start using all the shiny new weapons, I'm going to have to pay a little more attention to my ammo usage. I'm kind of the type of person who likes to rely on weapons with infinite ammo when I can. Oh, I should have saved some to kill with the shredder. Oh well. Not entirely sure if you can do very much with this. You can kind of use it to get up here, but we can come back up here later. And yeah, so I think I prefer just go this way for now. And once the shredder's down here, well, it's stuck. There's no ramps. I don't know. Maybe it's just to crash into people here. I could get on it right now and do this. And really, what more reason do you need to have a shredder? And I think I'm going to put points in Kamado today. So once we've got 6 points in that, then we can start using the shock splinter, which is right here, and I can't have it right now, which sucks. I don't think that the shock splinter actually does catch your enemies on fire. I don't think any of the weapons set your enemies on fire, which is a shame. Ooh, assassin. Assassins aren't so tough to deal with. Like I said, you really just have to use a little bit of patience with them. Oh man. Probably really only gonna get to pull that off once. Jeez, this guy's quick. Actually, I think it might be a female assassin. That's kind of a funny thing about this game, is it does something that you don't really see in a lot of games, which is that the gender of the ordinary soldier type enemies, you know, the regular nameless enemies that you just mow down, are not really necessarily all male. In fact, some of them, and especially assassins I think, actually seem to use female voice clips, although it's hard to tell because, you know, they don't really say a lot of things to you. There we go. Okay, that took way longer than it should have. So it's really kind of got an interesting kind of gender-neutral thing going on here, which is definitely interesting. You don't really see that enough in games where kind of there's a even gender mix. Yeah, Asha is really the kind of character who it's really satisfying to beat him up because he's such an asshole. And you can be sure that he will be back. You can trust me on this one. He's not the kind of guy to take a blow to his ego terribly lightly. Alright, so in this part of the sector we're going to be spending a fair amount of time kind of running around playing terminal tag. And this is the part where I generally suck at remembering which terminals unlock what where, which means I usually tend to end up just kind of wandering around at random until I find them all. But I think I kind of have an idea of where we are going here. And I'm gonna need 2 more points in Kamada before I can pick up a new weapon. That's kind of one thing about the weapon skills is they're kind of useless until you reach one of those landmarks, which means you do have to do a little bit more planning. And since I'm just putting 10 points in both of them anyway, you know, don't have to worry too much about it. As you can see, this is back up where we would have gotten to if we'd taken kind of the shredder shortcut. I'm not sure, I guess that's one way to kill someone. I'm not entirely sure if there is any particular benefit of going that way. Usually shortcuts in this game aren't just shortcuts. There's some way to kind of get something that you wouldn't normally be able to reach, or something like that. So I don't know. I guess, well, I know why. It's because if I didn't have 10 cracking, then this door couldn't be opened. Then you'd have to go all the way around. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess that's just one of the privileges afforded us by putting 10 points into cracking. Everyone's trying to blow me up all the time. Why is that? I didn't do nothing to anybody. Kind of. Ow. Yeah, kicking isn't exactly the most nuanced or accurate kind of attacks. If you've got a cushion of health, it's generally not a big deal. And let's see, not getting that. So here's something interesting. Some of the early logbooks mention posters, and this is one of them. You can see it right there. And I've already gotten it. If you look down the map, you'll see a little check mark. Once you beat the game, it'll tell you where the posters are with a little X or a little check, depending on whether you got it. And you wouldn't expect it from a game like this, where you're running around shooting people, but this is a puzzle. And the reason it's a puzzle is because if you go down around here, you walk over and you're like, well, I want to get that poster. So I'm just going to go up and I'm going to grab this ledge. Well, wait a second, I can't because there's boxes in the way. So what do? You can't shoot in midair. This is one of the things I mentioned before where the fact that you can only shoot from the ground is a big aspect of a lot of the kind of secrets or puzzles that appear. And so what you have to do is you have to get a weapon that can shoot through walls or hit these boxes from above. So the first logical conclusion, the one I reached, is, well, I'll just get the nuke. And the nuke is the strongest weapon in the game, and basically it's just an all-screen hit. And so it'll blow that box out of the way and you can climb up and get down there. But then you'll notice that these two boxes are missing too. And if you try and jump, you will be just barely not high enough without those two boxes to use as a step. So you have to destroy these two boxes and not these two boxes. And the way you do that is you actually get this big, huge laser weapon that you can use, and you can stand here and shoot the boxes from here. And that is the only way to do it. And obviously we don't have the skills to do that right now. So I'm not going to be showing off the poster really. And in addition to the poster, you'll notice that guy up in the upper left, who's kind of running around in his little bunker, I guess. And if you read the logbook right there, you'll learn that that guy up there, he's not an ordinary soldier. His name is Yuka Becerra. He's one of the hackers who have been kind of, we've been reading about in the logbooks. And if you go into that room via the teleporter over there, you'll get into one of the most bizarre mini-boss fights in the game, because he's, you can tell he's walking kind of fast, and that's because he's like hopped up on some kind of steroid or something, and he's also got like, he's fitted up with a ton of really strong weapons, and he has a lot of health. So basically you end up in this huge slugfest with this guy in like a 20-foot room who's firing missiles and Devastator rounds at you. And it's a really weird and really difficult fight because there's really no art to it, because there's really no dodging him. And I've been killed by him before. He's pretty hard to kill. And once you kill him, you actually get this scrambler thing, and I think that actually appears in my menu. I probably have the scrambler. Here it is. Which does really weird things to the text of all of the logbooks and the dialogue. And I think the funniest that I've heard, I haven't actually run through the game with the scrambler on, is that all of Asha's dialogue turns into emoticons. So that's kind of the, there's a lot of stuff kind of packed in this one little corner of the level, and I've been kind of just hanging around here talking. I'm sure you want me to just move on, so let's get on with it, because we're not going to get to witness any of that firsthand, unfortunately. Although, I don't know, if I tried to beat Yuka Becerra, I might get killed, and that would kind of derail my, my Let's Play. So, maybe it's probably for the best that we're not going to see him. Actually, you know, thinking back, I don't know if Yuka Becerra is a guy's name or not. It sounds like it, but how would I know the gender of alien names? I really don't know. They really need to watch the missiles. Seriously, guys. They really don't pay attention to the collateral damage done by missiles hitting walls, or hitting me in the face at point-blank range. Let's see. So I have enough to get the next weapon, the shock splinter. There's one right here. And now that we have the shock splinter, we should find one of those combining stations, and if I hop back here real quick, I said I was moving on from here, but this won't take very long, we can start building all of the combo weapons that we don't have. The Buster Gun, which I think I might have shown before, I can't remember, which is basically just a shotgun machine gun, and the Splinter Gun, whoops, last episode I was saying about how the cracking wasn't very hard. It's not very hard, but sometimes I screw up. And the Splinter Gun lets you fire the shock splinters, which is a lot of fun. This is actually a very fun weapon. And let's see, what others do we need to make? I think, can we combine, yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember what combinations there are. The Plasma Cannon. And we've seen the Plasma Cannon, that's the gun that the assassins use. So let's show those off real quick. Let's show them off by shooting somebody, because really, isn't that just the best way? And I think I opened that door. Let's see. No, not that door. Wait, what?
Contact!
Haha, there we go. Yeah, this thing can pierce, so you can hit as many people as you want, as long as they're all in a line. Oops. Explosive shotgun. Yes. But what about the Splinter Gun? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then we got the Buster Gun, which, if I haven't shown it off, looks like this. Kinda boring. It's just a fast shotgun. It's pretty good early on, when you're kind of taking out the medium armored enemies. But the Splinter Gun basically is, well, it's a lot more fun to play around with. I think I'm gonna build towards, by the time we get through Sector 8, I'll have a full Kamado stat. Then we can really get into some ridiculous stuff. Oops. I guess that's kind of on me, isn't it? Did I say Sector 8? I'm in Sector 7. Once we get through Sector 7, we can build up maxed out Kamado stat, and then through Sector 8 we can build for maxed out Tayson stat, and then we'll have all of the stuff, everything. In fact, with all the points from Sector 7, we can get the rocket launcher, and I think then we can get triple rockets. Pretty much the only weapon we'll be missing is the Devastator and the nuke. I don't know if I would trust a turret with the Devastator rounds. That seems like a really easy way for someone to get seriously hurt. I don't know. Of course, it saves a lot of ammo to just kick people in the face, too. But let's actually play around with the shock splinter some, because... Ow. There we go. That will be mine, thank you. And of course, while I'm in a shredder, I can pass by the other shredders without being... oh, jeez. Well, there goes my shredder. I think I'll just stand here and let them kill each other. Oh, that wasn't smart. And the shark splinter will just bounce off of his face. So let's kill him with this. He can actually kind of reflect that. That's weird. And I got really badly hurt, didn't I? In harder difficulties, these healing things only give you +1 health, so that can be kind of tricky. And this teleporter actually, if you're curious, goes over here. And then this teleporter just goes back here, so it's kind of a shortcut kind of deal. Oh hey, there's one guy left. Just gotta love the destruction and scrap left behind in all these battles. And yep, those doors open. Yeah, so that's another thing, is that if you run into an assassin and you don't want to fight it, you can actually just run away and the enemy effectively disappears. I don't think you even see him again if you return to the same place. I think it's kind of interesting how the Tayson kind of have more conventional human-like weapons like machine guns and rockets, and the Kamado kind of have the more exotic alien-like weapons. I wonder if that means anything. So yeah, as was kind of implied before, the Kamado are from Earth, or Origin, as they call it. Ow. So, apparently the Kamado have genetically engineered themselves, so we can't say for sure what they originally looked like, but according to if the Taysen engineered themselves to look more like their ancestors did when they lived on Earth, then it would seem to imply that their ancestors looked like humans. And yet it seems clearly established that humans are a separate race from the Kamado. So what does that mean exactly? Not really sure. But clearly there is a connection of some sort. Hmm. There's a lot of really interesting things about the Kamado culture that isn't really covered in great detail, and it's really interesting. It's a shame that we don't see more of that. I guess there's only so much you can cover within the game. Hmm. Interesting. But yeah, to a large extent, I'm going to be interrupted by dialogue. Just a minute. Anyway, to a large extent, the story is about not just the invasion of Earth, but also kind of a study of the Tayson and Kamado cultures and kind of how we got here. And the story has a lot of really interesting things to say, to really kind of explain, you know, why each side is kind of acting the way they are. And it's a lot to cover when you consider that it's almost kind of peripheral to, you know, this is all kind of background about, you know, the origin of the Tayson, the treatment of the Tayson by the Kamado. In a way, it is important to understanding how the events of the game unfold. We can see another supercharge that we would really need the nuke to reach that. But yeah, it is kind of important to understand why things unfold the way they do, but in a way it's also kind of, it's, you know, its background, and I really would like to see more of it, more stuff in this universe, because, it really is a lot to cover when you consider that we're all kind of, this is all kind of being seen from Iji's perspective, and it's really actually kind of impressive that she learns as much as she does, considering how limited her viewpoint into kind of this vast intergalactic history of these two races is. I'd almost like to see, I don't know, some kind of Not even necessarily a sequel, but just another game that takes place in this universe that explores this in more detail. But in any case, we're coming up on a big cutscene, so I'll shut up right now. We don't hesitate anymore. That's a good thing, right? See you next time.